All right, well, we've come to the end right now, but there's one thing that you still need to do that's extremely important, and that is to export your file. Unless, of course, you're not done. If you come to the end of the period and you're not done, then what you need to do is you need to save your file as a GIMP file. And that's really important. There's a distinction between saving your file as a GIMP file and exporting your file so that you can get a grade for it. So let me show you the distinction. First of all, let's say that you're not done and you get to the end of the period and you still have things to do. Well, you've got these 3 layers here, and we want to keep those layers so that when you come back, or you might have 2 layers or whatever, but when you come back they'll still be there. So you will go to save or save as. The first time you hit save, it's as if you hit save as. So just click on that, and this window is going to pop up right here. And again, be sure to go to the MVS student drive, double click on it, it's right over here on this side, and then go to the Jameson folder and find your folder. Obviously there's not many folders in here, so we'll just take this one. And you're going to call your file Apple and your period and your full name, not just your first name. I will take points off if you just have your first name. Now, this is all you need to do, and when you save it, you're just going to hit save. It's going to go into your folder. Now let's just take a look in your folder, and I want to show you something very quickly here. And this is why it's very important. Okay, so here's the MVS student. Double click, double click. Okay, so there's your file. Now, I can't actually, oops, hold on. I can't actually see your file the way it is right there. So, but that's fine. That's okay. When you need to go back to it tomorrow or the next day or next week or whenever it is that you go to it, it'll be there and everything will be fine. You can open it up and you can finish it. Now, as far as saving it or exporting it so that I can see it, here's what you need to do. So if you get to the end of the day today and you're done, you need to export your file. You don't need to save it as a GIMP file. If you're done, you're going to go here and you're going to go to File, Export, which is Control E. Although it says here export to trash. I don't understand what that means, but let's just click on export. And this window is going to pop up. Now, for some reason it says trash JPEG. I have no idea why. But let's just call it, again, Apple dash period. And you don't have to capitalize the B or A. And your name. And you don't have to capitalize your name either, as long as it's your first and last name. And again, make sure that you go to the right to the MVS student share file folder, and then to the Jameson folder, and then to the period folder, and then to your folder. And notice there's the XCF file. Well, we're not saving it as an XCF file. You have to click right here, .jpg. And that's very important, because that is the extension that's going to allow me to see your file, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to click Export. And when you do, this window is going to pop up here. And the quality has to do more with emailing. You can just move it up to 100% if you want. It doesn't really matter. But if you wanted to email this file, it would make a difference. And then just click on Export. And you're done. And once you're finished, you can close this image here. Now, don't do this if you are not finished, because if you do this and you're not finished, all these 3 layers here will collapse on one another and it'll become one layer. So it's interesting. Now you can play with this, by the way. Just kind of look at your Apple the way it looks with the different layers turned on and off. It's kind of fun. But again, make sure that you don't export unless you are completely sure that you never need to go back to the layers, because once you export it, it'll just collapse the layers on themselves. If you save it as an XCF file, you open it up, the layers will still be there. So let's just close this up. And close without saving. If this comes up, it means are you saving it as an XCF file? It's not necessary. So you just kind of close without saving. And we'll close this up. Now, let's go back to your folder, and now you notice there's two files in your folder. There's the XCF, which is the GIMP file, and then there is the JPEG. And this is what I'm looking for right here, because if you see, if I go to large icons, I can't see the GIMP file, but I can see the JPEG file. So XCF is only when you want to open it. And watch what happens when I open this as a GIMP file. Hang on, it's going to have to open up again. Okay, now I'm going to go and open up the JPEG. Okay, and Control L opens my layer window. Oh my goodness, it's coming up in 3 layers. That's unusual. It shouldn't. Oh no, that's because I opened up the XCF. Let me open up the JPEG, excuse me. There we go. And notice that the JPEG only has 1 layer. So that's what I'm talking about. If you did this before you were finished, you would not be able to go, you'd have to start over. All right, so anyway, that's basically what you're going to be needing to do in terms of saving or exporting today. And so let's go have fun.